With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington.
A pair of 3-0 teams set to lock horns for the right to remain unbeaten. And we're off in Week 4.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
When you talk about this Seahawk defense, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
But just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It's a pickup of 6. Faced with their first 3rd down conversion opportunity and able to punch it through and pick it up on the ground.
And to me, doing it on the ground sends a different type of a message than throwing the football. And, you know, let's face it, we've done a lot of games together. How often have we seen 3rd down turn into an automatic passing down no matter what the yardage?
Yeah, and last thing you want, that opening drive to go 3 and out. You got everything scripted, lined up. Let's get some points on the board, and they're able to avoid that 3 and out. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down.
Now it's Richardson.
And he will find his man on the outside. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Richardson.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Here's 2nd and 10. Richardson looking to throw this.
He finds his man, complete. It's Davidson. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumble recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
So they keep the ball, but work to do on 2nd and long. Now Richardson.
And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag is down. This could possibly be a push-off. Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
And sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
Back to throw. Here's Richardson.
Flush to his right. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Good yardage there on the scramble, and all of a sudden they're left with a 3rd and 2. Much more manageable.
This guy's proven himself to be one of the best in the NFL. He brings an added dimension to their offense, was the ability to read defenses and know when he's able to pull it down and take off and go.
And now, is it 4th down? No, it's 3rd down. And the field goal unit is out onto the field from the right hash, and this one just a chipping. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away.
Couldn't take the chance. This will be returned from the goal line.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
We spent so much time talking about the physical side of the game. How about the mental side? They just gave up a field goal, but they didn't get down at all. Big-time return. They're set up to try and at least tie the game up.
Ken. Here we go.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields.
Throw left side complete. That's Thompson. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year.
And the Seahawks have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Richardson to throw.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Well, they completed the pass but lost yardage, so they'll decline the penalty.
Perfect play for them, isn't it? Who needs a penalty when you try and throw the ball, you don't even get it downfield, and they go ahead and snuff out the play. They'll take that as a result.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
Now Richardson back to throw it. That one caught along the sideline. Did he stay in? Yes, he did. But hang on here. A penalty marker is on the field.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
The Colts send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away.
And good coverage there by the punt team. They're able to get down there and drop him with authority.
Here we go. Good. All right.
To throw is Fields.
His throw incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and now it's 2nd down.
You look at this Colt defense.
They were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? And it'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Good night.
Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep. And that one not going to work at all. Boy, the defense all over it. And they blow that up behind the line.
It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Here's Ty Zentner now.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
A big play there on the catch and run. 55 yards.
Where's the contain there? And yes, that's a question because that was just a simple drop-off. But he hits the Jets, and all of a sudden, the seas part in front of him. A huge result there to flip the field on what was a fairly innocuous play call.
And the Colts are going to have a 1st and goal forthcoming as he takes this down to about the 5-yard line.
Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Richardson looking to throw.
And it's caught. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
Oh, it's time to give real credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
They'll try to run this one in. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Ready?
Richardson now on 3rd and goal.
Touchdown! It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Colts have regained the lead.
And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to him.
And you remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They used their fullback in pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 10-7.
10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Colts in possession as they've got it as we resume action.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
That's going to be taken at the goal line, and he'll return it. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during this series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Here we go.
There they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line.
That good for 19 and a 1st down.
Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Here we go, side. Left, right. Alpha, 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 alpha. Sit high.
Fields.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Colts pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing that danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
On 2nd and 12, Richardson. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw or maybe the ball's tipped or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Here we go. Right.
Fields now to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. First time that they've called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Right.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Good work there, holding them out on 1st down. And this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2? Maybe even 3 more plays.
And they'll run again. Pushing for the end zone, but he's not going to get there. They stop him just shy of the goal line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
Extend. Right.
Now it's Fields. Escaping the pressure right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
Here we go.
They're not going to kick it. A chip shot, but they're going for it down 3 on 4th down. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Justin Fields, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Seahawks' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through.
Harrison Butler set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Richardson throwing the out route incomplete. It's Davidson. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Now a 2nd and 2. Back to throw. Richardson. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 43. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. Looking to throw. Richardson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They'll look to throw now on first down. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
That's right. Tonight.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Here we go, son. 11, 11, 11. Go.
Out of the gun, Fields. He's got Thompson here, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle.
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
And that's their first sack of this game. But how about last week? 6 sacks. Great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
From the gun on 3rd down, Fields. And that will be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more.
Let's go, Alpha right here. Alpha, let's go. All right.
They snap it to Fields. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And that's what you've got your tough little slot receiver for, isn't it? Right there, those 4th down conversions in the middle of the field.
He knows that's where he has to make his living, and that's where he has to make plays to help his team. And no one is asking him to do anything more or less than do exactly what we saw there.
Here's Fields. He gets this one to Hubbard, complete. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. 2nd down and a yard.
Here we go. Tonight.
Again, Fields. And it'll be intercepted. And the Colts are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here, 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
Ready up.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
2nd and 10. Back to throw. Richardson. He's going to take another shot here. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will do it for this first half. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. Flexing his muscle at the 30. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Don't jump. Ready?
On second down, they'll run it here. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Here we go. Go.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. 47 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On second down, they'll run it here. And he'll get it down here to the 43. That one a first down pickup of 8.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down, but if you can at least slow him up and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did that time for a loss.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Easy.
Here's Fields. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 22-yard line. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards.
Here we go.
Back to throw. Fields. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Well, he's regarded as one of the best athletes among NFL tight ends, Charles, and it certainly was on display right there.
And as we've seen this league continue to grow and develop, I think the tight end position is becoming harder and harder to defend because now it's elite athletes playing that position, not just the big guys who can block. How about his ability to get downfield and make plays against any defense?
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Now Richardson throwing to start the drive. He's going to loft one deep left side here.
Oh, he's intercepted again. It's Richardson's third of the game. And the Seahawks are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. Boy, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
Right.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Now Fields.
And he slings one that's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, Fields. Eluding the pressure right. That escapes the sack. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Good work there to force the incompletion and 4th down. Normally, it'd be a quick change for the punt return unit, but this offense has converted twice on 4th down so far, so you may want to double-check things there and make sure they're actually going to kick the football.
And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
We sit in quarter number 3 out in Seattle. A 2nd and 10 now.
Looking to throw. Richardson flushed out right. On the run. He'll let this go deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Back to throw. Richardson, flush to his right. And he is stopped just short on 3rd down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll try and run for it. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
So did you suspect the same thing that I did, that they were lining up just to draw them off sides here?
100%.
Well, how about that? They were going for it the entire time.
Never a question in his mind about going ahead and getting it, despite where they were on the field.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard it in my voice when they snapped the ball. I was like, I almost wasn't.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. And the Seahawks will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Hey, Ken. Here we go. Go.
Looking to throw. Fields. Escaping the pressure right. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
No surprise there. He was looking for one of his favorite targets again as soon as he left the pocket. But the coverage was good downfield. They got right to the receiver and helped prevent that completion.
Mayday. Here we go. Hey, never mind. Monday. Say hi.
From the gun on third down. Fields eluding the pressure right. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's fourth.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Not good at all. Punt him just 24 yards there. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator?
And my goodness, another interception. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go.
And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. 70 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Here we go.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
Here we go. We're good.
Now they'll pitch it out here. A solid stiff arm. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. That one goes for 16 yards and sets him up 1st and goal.
And they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
brings up second and goal.
Here we go, son.
At the 2-yard line.
They'll try to run this one in. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go.
Well, they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on 3rd down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on 3rd down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
So that's, CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
Oh, some strong running.
And the decision to bring it out, kind of a costly one, as he won't make it back to the 20.
The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive.
A tougher task for them now. That turnover on their last possession led to the field goal, meaning that they have to now try to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th.
And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a 1-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
Richardson off the play fake.
He finds his man, complete. It's Davidson.
Look at the big man rumble.
And all the way down to the 17-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 56 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Davidson. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that will bring up 2nd down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him, because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. The Colts on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw. Richardson.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
All right, so they got their field goal, gets them back within a score. Now for the onside kick. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie.
90 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. This 2nd and 4.
Here we go.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, second down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
Right. Go.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Now he's able to break through one tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
Here we go. Hey, Ken. Sit high.
On play action, Fields. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll try to run this one in. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. Second and inches.
Here we go. Right.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal.
Here we go. Good.
They'll try to run this one in. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage.
It's now 4th down and goal.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to perhaps salt this one away. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just 70 seconds left to go in the game. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know they were praying on the other sideline for a miss because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown. You need a chain of events to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Richardson. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They need a touchdown, the 2-point conversion, and a field goal. Pretty good start to the drive, though.
Yeah, good start to the drive, but the urgency has to really be increased by both the players on the field and everyone on the sidelines. Got to make sure everyone is up and into this game.
Richardson to throw it.
Flushed out right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2.
They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long.
Now a timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
They'll come up now on 2nd down.
Let's go.
Richardson. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
Now Richardson.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack.
4th down, desperation time. Here's Richardson.
He's going to let it fly. It's caught inside the 25. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. So the victory here for Seattle. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that